Our guest today, he's the Chief Operating Officer of the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. He joins us with years of experience in international management consultant, and he's here to talk more about cross-border trade and also international business. Thank you, Francisco, for joining us. To start off, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alma, for the invitation to come here and talk about myself, really, one of my favorite topics. And I have done a lot of work internationally, but I'll begin saying that I was actually born in Venezuela, and I have a Spanish citizenship. So I've been here in the United States many, many years, and I came here to studied math computer science in upstate New York, and then I came out here to work for a very large IT company, one of the largest in the world. Came to Tucson, had a great career there for about 12 years, and then decided to do consulting. I was like an internal consultant in this company, and I decided to go out on my own. And so I left this company, which is one of the biggest decisions that I've ever had to do. And I use it a lot now in the training that I do about taking risk and breaking paradigms. But I left the organization, started my own consulting business, and I've done that for many, many years. During the course of being at that company, they paid for a master's in management, and then all but dissertation at the doctoral level. So one day I'll finish when I have a little bit of time to do the dissertation. And now I'm working here at the Tucson Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Tell us a little bit more about the countries that you have done business in.
Yes, and mostly in the capacity of a management consultant, which I am, and I still have my business in that. And so I was able to take professional services outside of the U.S. And I visited many, many countries in many years, all over Latin America, call it Chile, Peru, Brazil, in Central America, Costa Rica, some of the islands out there, Dominican Republic, and so on. Obviously, I've done a lot of work here in the United States with also ties externally. But Singapore, I'm familiar with New Zealand, Australia, several countries in Europe, Newfoundland, Canada, South Africa. So yes, quite a number of places. And I truly, truly enjoy it. And it really shows that the world is not as large as we sometimes think it to be if we're not traveling.
So Francisco, with all this experience in traveling and international trade, tell us about your experience with customs and immigration.
Customs and immigration. Let's talk immigration first. It's very important that you have your papers in order. And one of my tenets of travel is that if I'm in a country for business, I say in my paperwork, I'm here for business. If I'm going for pleasure as a tourist, I will say that. But I know of people that say, hey, I'm going to go work over here. I'll just go in as a tourist. You can get into a lot of trouble and then be banned from coming again. Or there are marks in your travel documents that Interpol and others see. So be very, very serious about what you're doing and get the necessary paperwork. So it'll be a breeze to come in and out. As far as customs, never really had any issues. Just make sure that you don't take things that you're not supposed to take, that you declare. If you have tools of the trade, you mention them. And, I traveled during some difficult times, right after September 11th, 2001. And so just be ready for, and have patience, okay? When you go through these necessary agencies and the role that they're supposed to do for protection and so on. During that period of time, I've flown on airplanes that were almost empty, okay? And people were nervous, and they see somebody who's 6'2" like me with my characteristics. I know there's a little bit of profiling going on. It doesn't bother me as long as they're comfortable, I'm comfortable. For a while, I thought my name was random because they would say, we're going to do some random checks, with border. And so my number would get called. Well, I'd just go over, be courteous, and things go smooth. So just pay attention to what you're doing. Don't try to sneak through anything or anybody, and you'll be okay.
Share some expectations professionals should have when they go to work abroad.
Well, I think one of the things that we need to understand is that people are people, okay? And so we read a lot of things about different cultures, different traditions, but people are people. We just need to be respectful, understand why we're there, respectful of traditions, respectful of discussing their foods, their ways of doing business, and that'll be, you'll go a long way. Also respectful when visiting some of the sites in different places. You know, it's important to absorb the culture and just have a good time.